Well, that was a lovely entrance, but look, that's how OU goes, I guess. Welcome to the Schooner Pod. I'm your host, Bobby Howard, and it's just me today because we are here for an emergency rant session because that was bad. The Oklahoma Sooners fall to the West Virginia Mountaineers, the previously 3-6 West Virginia Mountaineers, by a score of 23-20, beaten, fallen by a last-second field goal. Absolutely atrocious across the board. It's still early, so I'm going to kind of take my time, make sure some people get in here. But look, this is just me and y'all, so feel free to light up the comments. This is a safe space. We're ranting, we're raving, we're mad. Because this was honestly one of the worst performances I've seen Oklahoma play in a long while. So, I don't even know where to start. I frankly don't know where to start. Preparation-wise, you knew this team was bad at rush defense. You knew they were bad at run fits, and this is a West Virginia team that is not good at running the football. Let's get that straight. This is not exactly like this is not Deuce Vaughn. This isn't a team that consistently pounds you on the rushing game, but they ran over the Sooners. They absolutely dominated them. The third downs, the fourth downs, it's so frustrating because exactly the same way that other teams have beaten OU was how they're beaten today. And no adjustments are made. No things were changed. It was brutal. And I know this is disorganized. Look, we're going to talk about it tomorrow in more depth and more detail. But my God, it just, something has to change. This just is not working at all. Defensively, not working at all. Offensively, not working. It's a disaster. Eric Gray, only good bright spot of this entire game. Absolutely the only bright spot. I'm at a loss for words, which is a horrible thing when starting like kind of an emergency podcast situation, because this was just bad. This was just absolutely bad. That second half, atrocious. That last drive, atrocious. I mean, they drove on them. They drove on Oklahoma at will. At will. It's baffling. It just truly is baffling. And I know I'm ranting. I know I'm raving. I know this isn't very good. I know this isn't good. And it's frustrating because there's nothing else to say. Like, Eric Ray did the only thing the offense could the only thing that was good on the offense was Eric Ray. 211 yards. Probably one of his best days out. But that was it. Coaching decisions, brutal. That missed field goal was absolutely awful. Like, I just do not know what they were thinking. Yeah. 82's over here in the chat. We're hanging out. Yeah, what was he thinking? Like, I know it was online. I know it was a little short, but like, it was a monsoon. What are we doing? That is something you do if you just like are playing on, in a dome in a neutral situation. You have to play for the elements. What are you thinking? It was a cowardly performance. It was a timid performance. It was just not very good. This is a team that's checked out. This is a team that does not care about the details. And sadly, as we saw from, Danny Stutzman's appearance on, Podcast at the Prairie, they don't care about the details. They just don't. This is a team that does not care about the details. And I don't know if that's the coaches not hammering it in, not being hard enough, or them just not caring, but it just does not work. It just does not work. Michael brings up that it is a team with several injuries on the defense. That is fair. Key Lawrence was out. But to be that thoroughly beaten by a guy who could not really throw the ball, it's demoralizing. This is the worst team in the Big 12, West Virginia. Well, now Oklahoma. They're 2-5 in conference. And I don't know where they go from here. I don't. It's brutal. You have to either, I mean, you have to win Bedlam. And, look, Spencer Sanders probably was going to have look, if Spencer Sanders plays in that game, you can put him on like one of those little, scooter things that they put people who have broken legs on. He will run for 200 yards of the Sooners. It is clear that the way to beat the way to beat Oklahoma is just to put a mobile quarterback on there, and they will kill you. And then you have Texas Tech, who, look, we've talked about on the weekend spread a ton. They're not a great team, but like they're better than this Oklahoma team. And at home, in an atmosphere like that, that is not where you're trying to get your last win to make bowl eligibility. Because at this point, this is how low this Oklahoma team is. We are playing for extra practices. It does not matter where we end up in a bowl. This is extra practices only. Because frankly, bowls don't matter. We all know that. We all don't care about them. And it's sad that this is where the state of the program is. That we're scrapping for extra practices, extra bowl game, like a bowl game. It's about reps. It's about moving forward. But I don't know. I'm very, very concerned because coaching staff wise, all of it just is personnel wise, obviously was always a problem. But here's the thing. This team isn't that bad. This team is not this bad, what you saw out there today. That was unacceptable. That is an unacceptable standard of Oklahoma football. And I'm not trying to be a gooner. I'm not trying to be, one of those fans who is like championship or bust. But this is unacceptable. 5-5, losing to a West Virginia team that is truly not very good. Don't get the Morgantown, like, oh, Morgantown's tough to play in, all that. Like, throw that out the window. That is not this West Virginia. This is not the Geno Smith, Steve Slayton, West Virginia. This is a team that is not very good. They bitched their quarterback and put in the backup because he could run. That was it. Their quarterback ran for 119 yards on OU. It's bad. This is really bad. And I know, look, I get it. Like, I've seen people say, backseat coaches, whatever, like, just give Brent time. Brent should be able to make something work with this team. Tavon Austin. Yeah. Tavon Austin, this was not a Tavon Austin type of West Virginia team. This is a workable team. This is a team where you can win some games. Can't win the Big 12 with them. I will agree with that. But this, losing 23-20 to West Virginia, a team that you couldn't stop to save your life, that's unacceptable. It just is. That last drive West Virginia had was soul-crushing. Absolutely soul-crushing. They didn't beat you like TCU did, where they just beat you by bust. They didn't beat you the way Texas did, where you didn't have any chance on offense. They just grinded the Sooners down to dust. And at some point, it becomes a matter of will. It becomes a matter of will. Lido says, give Brent some time, thinking some years. It's a tough pill to swallow. That's why I take it with beer. Cheers to you, buddy. We got a holiday cheer keg over here at Casa de Howard, so I feel that. And good old Jimmy, he's beginning to think we have the wrong coach. I'm not ready to fully give up on Brent. I think there's too much to go. But this is just across the board, like something has to change. It's not a person. The issues OU is having, personnel not great. Response to it not great. Danny Stutzman's comments of like, oh, like I'm only a yard off. Why are you yelling at me? Whatever. Everything matters. But like Lido said, they don't have the will. They don't have that dog in them. I don't mean that in like a trollish way. They just really do not have that energy in them. They don't have that fight in them. They don't have that. It's third down. We need to stop these guys, get them off the field. And sure, maybe they have the third down for it, but they don't have the fourth down on it. They don't have the confidence. They don't have what you need to have to be a winning football team. And look, you've heard it on the Schooner Pod. If you've been listening to this for a while, we've talked about it. Like after the Texas loss, what are we looking for going forward? It's improvement. It is, how is this team improving? How are they making steps towards the next season? How are they making steps to become a better football team as the season goes on? And honestly, genuinely looking at this, what steps are you seeing as an Oklahoma fan? What are you seeing that is making you think there's progression? Because frankly, I'm not seeing any progression at all. I'm seeing regression at some spots. I'm seeing apathy. I'm just seeing like just utterly poor performances. Stuff that should have been fixed by now. Stuff that should have been fixed in preseason. The offsides, for example, on that fourth down. The guy was lined up in the freaking backfield. That's something that gets ironed out in middle school preseason. The attention to detail is not there at all. And I think it's infuriating that a coach who came in preaching discipline, toughness, and all in just intangibles. You'll see a tough team. You'll see a team that really cares about everything. Just not care about anything at all. The details are awful. We saw it against Baylor. We saw it again. We just, nothing's fixing. Nothing is being fixed, and it's a discipline thing. It's a coaching thing. I don't know. And obviously, you can say whatever you want until you're blue in the face. I can talk to my dog all day long and try to get it to make me an omelet. It's never going to make an omelet because it's a dog. So, like my thing is like, you can teach people things and they won't do it because maybe they're just not good at it. Maybe they're just not good at taking directions and doing it. I'm not trying to call these people dogs. That was a very poor way of putting it. But like, I don't think these players are sponges. I don't think they're good at accepting coaching and making adjustments because they have made none of it. Either the coaches aren't giving them the instruction they need, or they're just not soaking it up. I'm not calling the coaches dogs. Ty's texting us to the side. I'm just saying they're just not very good. They're just not very good. They don't listen. And I don't know. I'm really frustrated with this. They're not dogs. That came off wrong. I was not comparing them to dogs. I was just saying that I don't think they're very coachable, is what I'm saying. I don't think they're coachable. Anyways. I don't really know what to say here. Chat's going good, but honestly, I think I should probably just check on out of it. I should probably check on out of this one because there's not a lot of nice things to say. That we won't be given a game ball tomorrow. I'll tell you what. Eric Gray deserves a game ball. I'm just gonna say that. Spoiler alert: Eric Gray game ball. That's it. The rest of it just garbage. And look, Marvin Mims actually had a better looking game than he actually was. 89 yards, 4 touches. That's pretty good. But like, there were some just plain drops, like right in the damn breadbasket. Brutal, just brutal across the board. Only 4 players got receptions. One of them was a running back, and I know it was rainy, but it's not an exception. That's not an exception. They just were not tough. They were not good. They were not disciplined. And frankly, they're not improving. They're not learning. They think they're good enough to just continue what they're doing and win games. They're not winning games. They're continuing what they're doing. I'm pretty sure that's the definition of insanity, folks. Doing the same thing, thinking it's going to work. Guess what? It ain't working. That was not a good West Virginia team. Hell, that wasn't even it wasn't even a good West Virginia crowd. It was empty. Empty. How do you get an empty West Virginia stadium? I'm just saying that's how bad the Mountaineers are. Empty. What are we doing here? And look, we talk about the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over again. And look, on Sunday, tomorrow, or whenever we go, because the Chargers playing. So thankfully the Chargers are playing, and we probably don't have to pod tomorrow. We'll probably say the same old shit we always say, where, figure out run fits, etc., etc. Levy's not doing a good job of play calling. But frankly, it's deeper than that. At this point, it's not a fixable season. Because they would have fixed it by now. They've had low moments. This is rock bottom. Don't get me wrong. But this is like beyond low. So, time to gut up. See if you really want that extra, like that bowl game. And look, if this program doesn't make a bowl, it might be lights out for this program for a while. Like I'm going to be frank. If Oklahoma doesn't make, it's already bad. This recruiting class is semi on fire. But if they don't if they do not make a bowl game, this might be another 90s. This very well could be another 90s. I'm not trying to be hyperbolic, but what have you seen this season that has given you any hope at all? There's no improvement. There's none of the attitude. Just talk. The same BS like coach speak, but no results. You know what that is? That's talk. And talk without action is bullshit, is what it is. And frankly, it's looking like it's going to be another really, really dark period for Oklahoma, sadly. But here's the thing. It's Oklahoma. So dark periods happen. We saw it in the 60s. We saw it in the 90s. The sun's going to shine on Oklahoma another day, but might be a while. Not very happy about that. But they need to figure things out before this gets really, really, really out of hand with the program, because it's about to be pretty bad if they don't. So, all right, folks, I'm going to go do some real life stuff. I got some Turnpike Troubadours tonight. Shout out to Mr. John. I agree. They're totally lacking leadership on the field. And I think Bedlam. I think they could win Bedlam. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, OU. Show me some damn heart and win a rivalry game. Win something. But I'm gonna go watch some Turnpike tonight. Gonna have myself a good time. Look, it's tough. But we're a incredibly privileged fan base. But at the same time, we shouldn't accept this bullshit. We should not accept this play. But this year, that's probably all we got. So, look, my advice to y'all, throw this one in the trash mentally. Enjoy your Saturday. Hang out with loved ones. Go find something to do. Watch a movie. Take your mind off of this. I wouldn't even watch the rest of college football, honestly. Because, look, these idiots in Norman that put up that stinker in Morgantown, they don't deserve any more of your thoughts for tonight. At the end of the day, it's a brutal game. It's a brutal thing, loving a sports team, but life is more than that. So try to salvage the rest of your Saturday. Have a good time with everyone. And, man, keep the faith, because at the end of the day, we're all Sooners here. And whether we're winning titles, challenging for national titles, or in the shitter like we are now, this is where it really where you build character. And I'm not trying to say this is a good thing. It's not a good thing. It sucks. But that first year where we're back might be next year, might be 10 years from now. It's going to be so sweet. Ask the people in the 80s. Ask the people who went through the 90s how great 2000 felt. And the reason it felt that good was because of the garbage, the crap. I'm not trying to silver lining this. I'm not trying to BS you and tell you this is good. But at the same time, there's something to be hopeful. There's something to look forward to. So, all right. Have a good night, everybody. Boomer Sooner. We'll see you tomorrow to break this down in depth. Bye.